Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us for our 30-minute webinar on Financial Reporting Made Easy, how you can leverage easier access to the data you need in order to make timely decisions. Whether you have existing legacy ERP applications or if you are considering making a move to a new cloud-based ERP system, we have some quick tips for success. In this short Lunch and Learn, we'll discuss the considerations and decisions that lay ahead and give you some tips on how you can more easily utilize your historical and current data, regardless of your ERP type, in order to help you have better business intelligence, reply faster to open records requests, and give you a means to support both internal and external transparency, reporting, and analysis. Then we will show you Performance Center, a 2015 award winner for the best return on investment for a reporting and transparency solution for government. My name is David Dukes with Momic Solutions. I'm a certified public finance officer with the Government Finance Officers Association and was previously employed as the Assistant Finance Director for Williamson County, Texas. I hope that my background in governmental finance will help me better explain the benefits that our solution can provide your organization. Local governments are embracing new technologies that give you the ability to leverage your existing ERP data for actionable insight and operational reporting. The International Data Corporation, or IDC, expects the amount of data generated in the next few years to reach 44 trillion gigabytes, an increase of 40% every year over a 5-year period. Yet only 1/3 of state and local organizations agree that their data is currently actionable, reinforcing the point that analytics tools are key to making use of data, which is a cornerstone of delivering good citizen services and improving operational efficiency. With tight budget dollars, organizations are faced with some decisions. Some of you may be staying with your current ERP application and will thereby need to leverage smart management tools to store and access the historical data for internal and external transparency, open records requests, and reporting requirements. Others, according to a recent eRepublik study, will be looking to replace your ERP with cloud-based alternatives. In either case, your historical data availability and blending with current operational data will be key to providing self-service reporting, analytics, trends, and possibly meeting your transparency data sharing initiatives. Cloud-based business intelligence and transparency solutions are the cost-effective answer for storage, data mining, and reporting of historical and operational information to empower organizations to save time as they discover more and more silos of data living in different applications and servers. If you are an organization that is evaluating a technology change to a cloud-based ERP solution, we have some tips for success. There are 3 recommendations in our experience that will help you make a successful transition to a cloud ERP. First of all, moving from a custom to a standard process environment can be troublesome, but the outcome far outweighs the efforts to get there. By reworking and streamlining processes and reevaluating and examining needs, you can take full advantage of process improvements as well as industry best practices. Change management. Enacting major changes in workflow, regardless of how beneficial they are, can breed discontent and confusion among employees. There will always be a population that resists change and fights against it. We recommend that you have a solid change management plan to create a path for success for the employees who are reluctant to change. Focus on helping them understand the reasons behind the switch by clearly conveying the benefits, and then get them trained as quickly and effectively as possible. A solid change management plan provides a smoother road to success. Finally, your data. This is the number one risk and the number one opportunity for a successful cutover. Today we are going to focus on your legacy data. How much can and should you carry over to a new system? And what are your options to retain years of historical data, but still be able to access it, not only for legal purposes, but to assist you with open records requests, reporting and analytics, and trends that can be found in that ERP data. It is important to evaluate the costs and benefits of these options as you plan for a new SaaS system. Now, as I said, the number one risk for when you put in a new ERP SaaS solution is what to do with your data and how will it get there. This is one of the major questions that at times gets overlooked or underestimated until midway through a project. As in any ERP new implementation, the question of how many years and what data should be converted needs to be assessed from both the obligation the public sector has for data retention and the assessment of the cleanliness of your data. As the saying goes, bad data in equals bad data out. In the ERP SaaS world, the average and best practice is 2 years of data will be converted. But this leaves the public sector with decades of data they still need access to for public information requests, historical trend analysis, budget forecasting, and employee vendor history. But luckily there are options. Clients can leave their legacy systems available for historical data, which is costly and still a maintenance challenge. They can export their historical data into a searchable database, or the most advantageous way is to leverage Performance Center, the Momix intelligence application, to support as many years of history you need. And it's user-friendly and pre-built with the reporting capabilities that adhere to public information requests and searchable ad hoc reporting and analytics designed to report and analyze trends and provide a clear view into the past. The Performance Center Suite is a cloud-based business intelligence, transparency, budget planning, and analytics suite that extracts, aggregates, and presents data in a way that can be understood and helps give you actionable insight and measures of your organization's performance regardless of the type of ERP application. It not only provides self-service ad hoc reporting, but it is pre-built with the reports needed by government organizations, minimizing the complexity or need for custom IT-built reports, and giving you full internal transparency to your data. In addition, it supports external financial transparency, best practices, and standards, all through an easy-to-use, mobile-friendly web interface. What makes it really unique is that it offers pre-built ERP integration and is extensible to any source of data you would like access to. And there's no license limit. Subscribers can have an unlimited number of users, and you have an easy enterprise view of historical and current information at your fingertips. Our solution encompasses full visibility to your data to support comprehensive ERP data reporting, analytics, budget preparation and management, and KPI dashboards, no matter where that data resides. And it provides a link to your website in which we can easily deploy our transparency application that follows best practice standards and content document management for your open data initiatives. Performance Center allows you to keep your data, regardless of source, all in one database. It takes a true external data warehouse approach and can therefore be easily expanded to include any data source from any application. The software extracts, aggregates, and transforms data in meaningful ways from multiple sources. It includes both ETL, the extract, transform, and load, and reports that are geared specifically to the public sector. Performance Center wraps all these steps in one simple package a government only has to deal with once, saving time and money. We handle everything, including getting the data. There is no need for the customer to extract and send the data to us. The application is also easy to use with a simple drag and drop user interface. The users have access to the application using a familiar web browser. So at this point, I'd like to start with the demonstration. This is the Performance Center welcome page. It's our landing page that gives any level of internal consumer access based on security to the data they need for insight, decision-making, analytics, or standard reporting for government. I'm logged in as a power user and can see everything. From this screen, I could access the Performance Center budget preparation and management. Here, the tile in yellow. And I can easily access the business intelligence and analytics from this same console. So over here, I can choose all of the business areas that I may need to run reports on. Also, instead of having to move between systems, this gives self-service access to reporting in easy-to-understand business areas to which they've been given security access. In this view, we have full rights and can see all the data we have imported from your legacy system or systems for reporting and analysis. In financial, including GL and encumbrances, fixed assets, payables, and receivables. Procurement, including both the requisition level and the purchase order level. Human capital management, or as we call people, would be HR, benefits, employment, payroll costing, etc. Now remember, this is security based, so anyone without the access to people could not see payroll information, of course. And also projects and grant reporting. I also want to show you over here under settings very quickly that the user can go in and customize their login. And what I mean, they can change their password and their avatar here, of course, but look here at Start Page. This is where if the user has a certain dashboard or other key performance indicator that is very important to them and they want to see that updated as soon as they log in, then as soon as they hit enter on their password, the dashboard or key performance indicator will pop up and re-pull the numbers and give you an updated report immediately. So to do that, to make that dashboard my start page, I just have to select it and then save. And the next time I log in, that will come up first rather than the welcome page. I find that very helpful to some users who just want to log in and see particular information very quickly without having to click through the welcome screen and open a new report. I put together some common scenarios that demonstrate the need for multi-year data. This is important because sometimes in legacy environments, data has to be archived due to storage and performance limitations. Or in cloud solutions, only 2 to 3 years of data are converted. However, governments need access to historical and current data beyond these limitations. I'll go through each of these examples and show you how our Performance Center reporting can meet those needs using our different reporting levels. Then I'll show you briefly how this same data can transition seamlessly into our transparency platform. As we go, keep in mind that we not only can pull the historical data, but we can also bring in current data as well, providing all-inclusive reporting and analysis. Now, multi-year data is often needed for accurate projects and grants reporting, public information requests, vendor payment reconciliations, historical trend reporting for revenues and expenditures, comprehensive annual financial reporting, and transparency reporting, just to name a few. Requests can come from anywhere, including management, other employees, the news media, taxpayers, elected officials, and citizens. Let's start with projects and grants reporting. So from the navigation column over here on the left, I'm going to select projects and grants, and I'm going to look at costs and encumbrances. Now, projects and grants reporting can often stretch over several years. It's important to bring in historical information to match up with the current activity for overall project reporting. We're first going to look at a standard report over here on the right-hand side, and I want to pull in all of the expenditure details for a particular project. Now this is the parameter side of the standard report that can pull all of those cost details for a particular project or award, but it pulls it by predefined parameter-driven reports based on public sector reporting requirements. So here, out of all of these parameters I could put in, I'm just going to put in project P170 and select it. And I could put in an award number, a fund number, a department to further filter down that information, but I want to see all expenditures for one project number. So I'm going to back up to October of 2014 through current, and I'm going to leave everything else blank so I can get all of the expenditures. And this is the resulting report. It gives all the expenditures related to this project number, and it sorts and subtotals by task within that project. So as you can see, we have the different task numbers subtotaled here, and for this time period, October 14 through current, the total expenditures have totaled to $788,000 with all of the details here behind that number. This information is, of course, exportable to Excel, PDF, or CSV. By having all of the expenditure detail in one convenient place, the users, the accountants, the grant managers, the auditors can easily prepare grant reports. They can comply with grant audits, and they can monitor grant funds remaining without having to run several sets of reports and combine several different reports, saving them time and money. We can also pull analyzer reports for projects and grants. Now, using predefined analyzers as a starting point, so those same users can report and analyze data in an infinite number of ways to best fit any situation or requirement. I have pulled up, out of the same costs and encumbrances column, I've pulled up the listing of projects and grants expenditures by GL account string. So this is the resulting report that appears, and it's looking at everything in the current year. So let's say, for example, that I want to pull up one particular vendor. So I'm going to look at vendor name here and right click and filter. And here I'm just going to type in HNTB and select it and find, and it's going to find everything that has HNTB in that vendor name, and click OK. So this is giving me everything that has been paid out to HNTB. A grant manager can pull the information and move around columns, change subtotals, filter out unnecessary data as needed without having to contact accounting personnel for a customized report. Now, for example, if the user only needs to pull the expenditures for one vendor, in this case HNTB, they can easily filter out the others. Now, a common question arises concerning how much grant money is being paid to one vendor versus other qualified vendors. This functionality allows the user to quickly identify those payments over the life of the grant, no matter when the ERP change took place. Or another example might be having the detail behind the prior history with a vendor can lead to advantages during contract negotiations. So as I was saying here, let's say I'm a grant manager and I don't know accounting, so I don't need to see the fund numbers and the department numbers and all of those numbers that confuse me. So I want to remove the fund number from the report. I want to remove the department number, and I want to move the GL object very simply. But here, let's say I want to look at payments by GL period. Primarily, any report is going to sort from left to right. So simply by moving GL period here, right behind project number, I can get, and then I can even subtotal on project number. And that way I've got a quick and easy report that shows all of the expenditures by GL period for each project and subtotaled by project. I don't want to have to rebuild this report every time I need this information, so I'm going to quickly save as, and I give it a unique name and click OK, and I'll show you in a little bit where I can then pull up this query again and again and rerun it without having to rebuild the report. Let's look at revenues and billing for projects and grants. And here again, I want to start with a standard report, and I want to start with the revenue to GL reconciliation. So again, I have the parameters here. I want to select a December 2014 as my reconciliation date. And I want to pull everything in Fund 999, which is the grants fund, and click Submit. No data found. Well, that's actually a good thing, because remember, we are looking at a reconciliation report, and I have asked this report to show differences only. So if it's not showing anything, that means there's no difference. And I can prove that by clicking No here and resubmitting it, and I can see that all of the revenues that have been booked to the GL have also been booked to the Projects and Grants module, leaving a 0 difference. And of course, this information can be exported to Excel, PDF, and CSV as needed. And let's go back and change it to show differences only. So no data found isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it is a good thing. Now I show you this because often when an organization uses a grant tracking product, or subledger if you will, the interface into the GL can be automatic or manual. No matter whichever way you choose to transfer your data from the grants module to the GL module, it's still very important that the two modules match and reconcile to each other. This is important to properly reflect grant activities on the GL. This report is a simple one-stop shop for that reconciliation. So now let's pull an analyzer, revenue analyzer by award. Now in this analyzer, we'll be able to see all of the awards that have been paid with the corresponding detail information. It's important to track revenues across grant periods just like expenses. For example, if your organization receives federal grants, then those amounts have to be reported in total. This analyzer will allow the user to quickly and easily combine amounts received across all awards and all time periods in order to quickly report total federal funds received, as opposed to the alternative to run different reports out of different systems and combine them into Excel, which is costly for many reasons. So just like the other analyzer we looked at, you could move around these columns, change subtotals, or select any of the available fields from the list at the left-hand side to include in your reporting by a simple drag and drop system. So that's revenues. Now let's look briefly at procurement. So I want to look at purchase orders. Many times, historical purchase order information is requested to confirm prior contracts with vendors. This could be for many reasons, such as public information requests, media investigations, grant compliance, or current contract negotiations. By opening up the procurement purchase order analyzers, we can see a full list of different predefined analyzers that can be used as a starting point to get exactly what the user needs. And from that list, we have pulled up the purchase orders by vendor. Here we can filter on just the vendor in question. So in this example, the vendor in question is American Irrigation Repair. So to quickly filter everybody else out, I'm going to right-click on that vendor name and say Keep Only American Irrigation Repair. So at this point, this shows me everything that all the POs that have been booked to this vendor in the current creation year. But I want to see over all years, all POs for this current vendor. So to do that, I'm just going to take out this filter by hitting the red X. And now I am looking at all POs for this particular vendor. Let's say I also want to add some information to this report. I need to know which department these payments were made from. So as you can see over in the left-hand side of available fields and measures, I can select GL department by double-clicking, and it'll show up here in the report. But I don't know what the name of that department is, so I can easily right-click on GL department, show properties, GL department name, and the name of that department shows up. So now I know exactly which department has opened which POs very quickly. I can also see if those POs are open or closed. So I'm going to pull in PO closure status here, and I can click and drag it to wherever I want to see it. And this tells me that the particular PO has been closed, and there are a few still open here at the bottom. The user can then save this report, given it a unique name here, and it will save under their reports by going to My Reports, click here, and then this will be the list of all of their unique reports that they have pre-built. Now keep in mind, when you then access this report again, it will regenerate the numbers. It's going to re-pull all of the data. If you need a snapshot in time report, it's recommended to save that report as a PDF. And that way you have that particular data as of that date. But this report will allow you to regenerate those reports without having to rebuild them. Now that was projects and grants and purchase orders. Let's also look at AP payments briefly. So under payables payments, we can do the same thing we did with projects and grants with AP payments. Often, accounting departments get requests about historical payments for certain vendors or even elected officials for anything from media inquiries to contract negotiations, or they might get questions from vendors who have misapplied payments and need a reconciliation of payment history. By having this information all in one place, the accounting clerk can quickly pull the information from before and after the ERP conversion from one easy to access database. Performance Center can pull that information very easily. So in this list of analyzers here under payables and payments, we want to pull vendor payments just like we did for POs. So this is showing me all of the payments that have been made for a particular payment year. Right now we're looking at the current payment year. So the vendor name, this time I don't see it easily in my list, but I know who it is, so I want to just right click and filter. And at this point I'm going to just type in Dell and click find, and then I can find anything that has Dell in the name. So I'm going to select Dell Computer Corp and then click OK. So the resulting report is all of the payments in the current payment year for Dell. But I want to, of course, look at the historical information as well. So I'm going to take out that first filter and pull all of the payments by Dell. And the resulting report, of course, can be easily exported into CSV, export into PDF, Excel, or CSV. Historical reporting also involves trend analysis. Now, for example, it is sometimes necessary to pull up 10 years of data when analyzing budgets, reporting actuals, or tracking revenues, for example. All those numbers can be easily published using our transparency application within the Performance Center. So this is a demo version of our transparency application. Springfield. Now, this application consists of pre-built templates based on best practices for what the industry says should be published. It provides out-of-the-box dashboards that align to your data and industry guidelines of how to show the public that you are accountable for their tax dollars. It supports Open Checkbook, Open Budget, Open Revenues, along with content and document sharing, so you can tell your own story to the public. No longer do you have to go extract a separate instance of the data, try and map it to a tool or another technology solution just to show on your external-facing website. We use the same set of data for both analysis and transparency reporting. By loading historical data into Performance Center, you can leverage that same data and publish it to your constituents through our transparency platform. Now, as I said, this is the city of Springfield that we use as an example. This is an example of a spending dashboard, or otherwise known as a check register. In the past, many organizations publish this information in PDF. PDFs are very cumbersome and hard to use. While this can be done through Performance Center, you can also show that data in a way that is easier to understand and drill search into the details. The user can see spend data by month and drilling through into the information they need, or they can use the quick search. For example, if I am a user and I am looking at total spending for the year, and I want to see why this amount is so high for the month of May, I can easily click on that bar, and it's going to give me the detail behind that spending. As you'll notice here, the transactions that come up, everything that was issued in the month of May. I can then search on payee name, document number, agency, department, even by amount to get the largest amounts. I can also do a quick search as a user. So here, I'm going to look at all payments to Spacely Sprockets, one of the vendors that does business with the city of Springfield. So I'm going to type in Spacely Sprockets and click search. And now what you'll see is I don't have any other filters on other than Spacely Sprockets. This is a payment that was issued in August of 2013. And you can see there's pages and pages of payments to this particular vendor. You'll notice that the detail shows up in an Open Checkbook check register format. The user can see what exact payments make up the individual balance. All of the data can also be easily exported for their own use or for their own open data initiatives. And you can export easily by using this drop-down and exporting the data for your own needs. Our transparency platform also offers publishing of trend data. Many of these reports are required for the stats section of the CAFR. Here, you'll remember we tracked revenue and expenditures in the Performance Center. We also tracked property tax collections in the Performance Center. Not only can these reports be used by constituents, but since that data is part of the entire Performance Center functionality, your internal users can take advantage of this data here or in the Business Intelligence platform. So in this particular report, we are currently looking at the year fiscal year 2011 for this set of data. The featured trends. This one is looking at general fund revenues and general fund expenditures. And you can use the slider at the bottom to increase or decrease the amount of years that you want to compare. You'll also see we have other selections here: property tax levies and collections, capital projects, revenues, personal income, ratios of outstanding debt. All these sorts of data and statistics can be tracked using this functionality. So again, property tax levies and collections. We're looking at this. If I needed to extend, I could use the slider to extend the amount of years I'm looking at. We are very proud that Pentaho, a worldwide leader in data integration, business analytics, and big data, recently awarded Momic Solutions their 2015 award for Best Return on Investment product at their annual conference. That's proof of the cost savings our product can provide our clients. In addition, in 2014, the GFOA awarded Williamson County, Texas, an award for excellence in government finance in the e-government and technology category, and they awarded their highest award, the Louisville Award for Innovation in Government Finance, for their implementation of the Performance Center suite. I want to thank you for sharing your time with us today. We would be happy to schedule a time individually with you to show you more of the functionality Performance Center provides, or please join us on one of our upcoming monthly webinars. Our goal is to make government's work life easier and more connected by giving you easier access to the data that drives your performance through business intelligence, transparency, and budget formulation and management. Should you need additional information, please don't hesitate to call or click. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.